went into the military for 17 years.
Yeah.
So my fitness every day, 24/7, it was all to do with fitness. So to answer your question, how I kept going,
Yeah.
I've always looked at myself in the mirror and I've always said to myself, you can become a better version of yourself. It's always me wanting to become a better version of myself than I was yesterday.
Right.
So along with that as well is, again, we'll probably touch on this on the podcast as well, is that you have to be, you have to be consistent at whatever you actually do.
Okay.
I think the longest maybe I've gone without actually doing any fitness was a few years ago when I got ill. But then it was 6 weeks and I was back into it again. My body and my mind are in such a particular zone now where if I don't actually do fitness, then my body is craving that, So me being 61. Sorry.
Sorry to just interrupt, Anthony. Two things that brought to my mind in what you're saying. So you've been doing it for so long until it becomes your identity. It's automatic. It's a part of who you are now. And the second thing is, it's like the exercises now become our medication, just to feel good and just do better and just quick question for you. All right, in regards to what you were saying, Anthony. All right, how does, say for example, I'm a father, I'm out of shape, I've got no discipline, my life is hectic, I've got work, I'm trying to balance my life, my responsibilities as a father. What would you advise me? What would be the first step to just get on the path of becoming more disciplined, to build that consistency? What tip would you give?
So I don't. There's a couple of tips, but first thing I would say would be to look at yourself in the mirror and say to yourself, if I don't change the way I currently am, in 5 years' time, where will I be? Will I be still in the same position as I am today? Or if my health is going downhill quite quickly, will I be around in 5 years anyway? Okay. And I've looked on your website there, and there's one particular word that sticks out. Certainly, if you've got kids, if you've got sons and daughters, what's your legacy going to be at the end of your life? Are they going to see a father who looked after himself? Are they going to see a father that kept discipline? Are they going to see a father who expected demands from himself? That's the first thing I'd say. To go back to your question about how and when people can actually start. And I've seen it so many times. People say, okay, I want to do this. And they will go full in for about a week, 2 weeks, and it gets too much. It's overload. You have to break that down into small, manageable chunks. First of all, have a look at what you're actually eating. Go through your fridge, go through your cupboards today, and have a look in there of the food that is not actually helping you. And then start changing that, okay, day by day, week by week. Get rid of processed food. Processed food is no good to you whatsoever. Even in processed food, in cans, it's full of sugar in there. You need to take that out straight away. And then just build yourself a plan. Have a look online, at your podcast and your training and stuff, and just pick what you actually like to do. Even if you want to go for a run, or go for a walk, or do press ups. Start with things that you actually like doing, but don't do too much where it's going to say to you, "Oh, I don't fancy doing it." Do something you enjoy. Even if you do like 15 to 10 minutes a day to start with. Physical exercise, and then build up from there. Rome wasn't built in a day. It took
no, definitely not.
Years and years and years for Rome to be built. But when it was built, it was the glory of the whole world because of what they actually done. They laid foundations So to get back to your question, I would say that if anybody's watching this, certainly a father who's out of shape, wants to get back in shape, lay foundations first, work on those foundations, build it brick by brick, weekly, monthly, yearly, and just do something that you actually like. But, it's twofold. You can't expect to do exercise and have a bad diet.
Yeah.
There is a point where you have to say to yourself, okay, I'm not eating the right foods, I'm still training, but is that doing any good to my body? So, you need to look at where you actually are now and say to yourself, okay, what can I change today that I will not do tomorrow, that I can improve on the following day?
Okay. Some of the questions that I get asked in the past is because I've pulled up a lot of brothers about this in the past, and they've given me this common excuse. Look, I don't have enough time. I just can't find the time. I'm too stressed. I'm too, and that appears to be a common excuse across the board. So I'm like, okay, so when will be the right time? I mean, how do you get them to just even take that first step? So we've got a plan in place, like what you've discussed. But even say from a step before that, how do we even just get them to just take that step? Does it require them to be backed up against the wall in life and think, you know what, I've reached a point in my life where it's enough is enough? Or can we even prevent that from happening where we don't even have to wait for that time to come? In your experience, what would be the best approach to take?
Okay. So quite a lot of people watching this probably won't like this, but when it comes to me having new clients or me taking people on, there are certain criteria that I actually expect from them. And if they're not willing to be advised with my knowledge, then I'm not the right person for you. I can find you someone probably, but I'm not the right person for you, because this is what I expect. First of all, we're all given the same thing in life, and that is time. We all have 24 hours in the day. It's how you manage that time during the day will enable you to do the things that you want to do and allow you to do what the coach has set for you to do.
Got you.
Now, you have to ask yourself this question as well, is that if you say you haven't got enough time, but at 7 o'clock in the evening, you're sat on your sofa watching Netflix for an hour. Where's your priority? Where's your priorities? Is your priorities in taking it comfortable? Is your priority in, seeking that comfort? Or is your priority about changing yourself as an individual, as outlined by the coach who gave you things to actually do, which you should be able to do? So even 15 minutes a day is fully achievable by anybody's standards. I don't care who you are, where you are in the world. Everybody has 15 minutes a day to do some form of exercise, and you can do that from home with no equipment whatsoever. Okay, so just what I would say is just go out and do it. Everybody's got 24 hours in the day. Manage your time. Even what I do on a Sunday is I write down exactly what I'm going to do the following week. Okay, and I manage it quite strictly. Okay, I say, okay, I'm going to do this then, and this then. And what I've done, I've basically signed it by myself, and that's a contract between me and what I've decided that I'm going to actually do. So you have to manage your time correctly. Manage your time correctly. But what I would say to that is that we've all got 24 hours in a day, and some individuals can actually manage their time and other individuals can't. What are your priorities?
So it's like, so far I've got two steps. The first one, before we even construct the program, it's like to ask yourself, look, do I want to look like this? This is the situation that I'm in now. Things can only get better or worse, and I need to make that conscious decision to go forward. And for me to go forward, the next step will be to put a plan in place. And what will be the next phase after that, Anthony? So you've got an intention in place, and then you've got a plan in place. All right, so let's talk about the next phase, which is the execution. And regarding the exercises, so intention, right? I want to change myself. I don't want to look like this. In years to come, I can be either worse or better. Second stage is, all right, so now we've constructed a plan. Now the exercise bit. Anthony, this is something that I want to question you on. Okay, I have seen across your videos that there's a really basic formula that has stood the test of time, and I've seen it through the way you exercise, and it usually looks like a pull, a push, and a core movement, and that goes across the board. And you've done so many variations of a pull exercise, a push exercise, a core exercise, and those seem to be your fundamental exercises that really worked well for you. You know, so like in terms of what would you say the most effective exercise is for someone to do? Is it about body type? Is it about preference? Is it about being really selective with your exercise? Or does it matter at all? Like, you just have to just keep moving. Just what is the
you have to, like I said previously, you have to find something that you actually enjoy doing, because if you don't enjoy doing it, then your motivation for it will actually decline. But what I would say is that I'm a firm believer in conquering your own body weight first.
Okay.
Conquering your own body weight first. What's the point if you can't conquer your body weight first? Going into the gym and trying to lift 20 kilos is pointless. So try to conquer your body weight first. The fundamental exercise that I start everybody on, and it's press ups.
Yeah.
Is press ups. You know, you can do those anywhere at any time. You could be at work by your office desk. Get down, push out some push ups. You know, you could be anywhere. You just do your push ups. Your body is having an effect on what you're actually doing. You're exercising. So my answer to that question would be start on body weight exercises first, and you'll be amazed in a short space of time on how many push-ups you can do, another good exercise, which for men is fundamental, and it boosts the testosterone levels, is body weight squats.
Okay. Is there a certain amount of reps or sets that they need to do, or is it just start the process? What would you advise, Andy?
Yeah, I would say start the process. Just start the process. If someone gives you something in front of you and it says, I don't know, 50 body weight squats, 3 sets, your mind's going, oh, this is, you know, you've given up before you've even started. What I would say is that do 10 to 20 squats, have a rest, and then do some more. See how your body feels. But those body weight squats, especially if you do them in the morning, when you wake up, before you go and have a wash and shower and stuff, go to the living room and start doing body weight squats. Your nervous system kicks in. And when your nervous system kicks in, the testosterone goes through and your energy levels go through the roof. And if you're starting your day off a little bit sluggish, just do those body weight exercises. You'll be amazed at what that does to your body first thing in the morning, and allows you to have a really good, productive day. So, yeah, body weight exercises are fundamental in my book. Yeah.
Actually, I want to get your opinion on this. Like, how important is mobility and just mobility and agility and strength, especially as you age? How important is it? Like, could you emphasize that, or like what's the benefits of, like, say for example, I'm an out of shape father and time is ticking and I'm getting more older. My condition is not getting any better, but I want to start exercising. I want to put a plan in place. Like just because I mean, from personal experience, I have found that I'm ever so grateful about the ability that I can still do the exercises as I'm aging. I'm still able to function. I'm still able to sit down. I'm still able to squat. I'm still able to do the push-up. Just the exercise movement in itself, I am grateful for that I can still function like that. That's what it does for me. It gives me that confidence to like just to do things on a day-to-day basis without worrying about my joints, without worrying about if I've got the strength or not. That's the kind of psychological impact it has on me. But what would you? How can you emphasize this point to just like how important mobility is as you age, Anthony?
Well, I think the older you get, then
Yeah.
your body needs to be managed correctly,
Okay.
because you can't, okay, I've got to quite a high standard now on calisthenics,
Yeah.
but that's only through me being consistent throughout the years and my
Yeah.
body knowing those form of exercises.
Yeah.
But the older you get,
Yeah.
you do have to introduce mobility into your training program, because if you just go into a training program cold, should I say,
Yeah. Yeah.
you will get injuries, and the moment you get injuries, your mind tells you, oh, okay, I'll have a couple of weeks off now, and then it goes back to square one. Where introducing mobility into your training program
Yeah.
is very fundamental,
Yeah.
enabling you to progress on. The two go hand in hand.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is why I get all my clients to, you have to do a thorough warm up first,
Yeah.
and a
And
warm down, in actual fact.
and I think, I mean, reason why that I've specifically asked this question, because I've seen across the board of your videos, you're very mobile. Your agility is amazing, strength is amazing, and so that's why I asked that question, especially at your age, that you're able to pull yourself up, but not just pull yourself up, you're able to do different variations of movements, of like, rather than being stiff and rigid, because the more stiff and rigid that we are, the more prone to injury that we are, because we're just less able. For some strange reason, we just become more brittle. But if you're mobile, you can move in all sorts of directions and just minimize injury,
Yeah.
especially as we age. And I've noticed, like, the next question I was going to ask you is, how do you think the way that you exercise has helped you to not only strengthen your bones, but also to minimize injuries just on a day-to-day basis,
Yeah, I think I go back to the point that my body now has been adjusted to the kind of exercise that I actually do.
Yeah.
So, specifically, 99% of my training is body weight calisthenic exercises.
Wow.
So me just doing a normal chin up now, or me just doing a normal pull up now, it has no effect. It has no effect on me.
Okay.
My body is that's why I now do as much weighted calisthenics as I can.
Yeah. I get that.
And I keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it.
Yeah.
I know one day I'll get to a threshold where my body will go, that's it, Grandpa. Thanks very much. You can't do any more. But until that day comes, inshallah, I will continue to add that weight. I will continue to push my body. But yeah, to answer your question, my body has been acclimatized now to that kind of training. So it's like muscle memory. Your muscle will always remember the exercise that you had done or used to do, and you can have a break of, I've never had a long break, but if you were to have, say, a break of 10 days to 14 days, going back into the exercise that you were doing previously, your body and your muscles will go, I remember that. Boom, boom, boom. It's interesting, very interesting, muscle memory.
Anthony, that just in addition to what you said about muscle memory, I've from back in the day, I've done this experiment before. I used to train, do 5 miles, probably about 2 to 3 times a week, and that was just running. And that was quite easy. I went from doing it for 40 minutes to all the way down to about 25 minutes. I'll complete that 5 mile. Then after a couple of years, I put on weight. I was out of shape. And then I tried it, but I couldn't have the stamina. So I thought to myself, wait there, I've become unfit. And then what I realized is when I lost the weight, I didn't even run, Anthony. I just lost the weight, and then all of a sudden I went back to running, and it was as though that the fitness was still there. The only difference is that I was just carrying a lot more weight before, so that's why I couldn't do it. I think we've lost the connection. Sorry, I don't know what happened there, Anthony. Are you back? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I think we got cut off there. Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, just a slight disconnection. What was I saying? Yeah. So, Anthony, back in the day, what I'd do is I would run 5 miles on a regular basis, weekly, probably about 2 to 3 times a week. So I got up to quite a reasonable speed, and then after some time, I put on a lot of weight. And then as I put on a lot of weight, I tried to go out for a run, and I couldn't do it. I was just out of shape. I was unfit. So then what I found out is once I lost weight, I didn't even go back to running to get my fitness back. I just thought, let me test myself. And I went out there for the first time in a long time, and I was still able to do those runs. And that's when it occurred to me, I thought, wow, okay, there was actually the weight that was actually restricting me, not my fitness, because it goes back to that thing that you was talking about, muscle memory. But I also think that cardio has a memory as well. Your cardio mistakes. So you get your engine up to a certain point, and you've got it up to a certain standard that you've trained it to such a degree where, okay, now it sort of starts to deteriorate. But then once you come out of that period of deterioration, that you build it back up to par again, it hasn't forgotten where it stopped. You just come back to it. Like it's that example of the muscle memory, but that also happens in your cardio state as well. This is what I found out from personal experience, anyways. So yeah, like it's just in reference to what you're saying about muscle memory and that, like, but that principle applies in many areas of our life as well. You know, when you train yourself to a certain standard that you're doing your things, I don't think the brain ever forgets. It just becomes dormant, but it can easily get triggered again, and then that you can start the mechanics again. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what's so special about the actual human body. The human body wants to help you. Okay.
Yeah.
The human body will try its best to help you recover. The human body will actually try its best to make sure that you're ticking over quite nicely. But you need to put some of that work in to help the body achieve that. And it doesn't take too much. It doesn't take too much for you to actually do that. Making a few tweaks on your diet. Increasing your heart rate to get the blood pumping a little bit faster, doing some body weight exercise or doing some exercise. If you help the body will help you. And long term, in my book, that is only a win-win situation.
Yeah. And in addition to that, I want to slightly move off the topic to mindset, because I know that you're a big advocate on that, and you've stood the test of time to get into the position that you're in now, to be able to do those things and be as fit as you are at your age. I want to ask you a mindset question. And how do you strengthen the mind? Because to be able to do those things, especially for that long period, it requires a certain mindset. So if you were to give me a tip, or people watching, what one tip or two tips would you advise for us to strengthen our minds? Where do we start? Or like, what have you found yourself that has worked for not just yourself, but for many as well?
I would just say, take a real good look at yourself in that mirror. And really have a conversation with yourself in the mirror and ask yourself certain questions.
Okay.
Am I as good as what I can be? Can I become a better version of myself in the near future? And what is holding me back? Is it time that's holding me back? Is it stress that's holding me back?
Yeah.
and have a really serious conversation with yourself and write things on. Nowadays we've got the phone, so you're there doing stuff on your phone. Put the
Yeah.
phone down and just grab yourself a notebook and write down in there and be honest with yourself. Do a personal audit on yourself and
Okay.
ask yourself some fundamental questions.
Yeah.
Where do I want to be in 6 months? How long is it going to take me?
Yeah.
How do I achieve that? What is the goal I want to achieve?
Yeah.
And just write things down. The mindset is a funny thing because the mindset can only be worked on when you
Yeah.
work on it itself.
Okay.
If you want your mindset to be in a state of mind where you want to relax, you want to take things easy, guess what? That's what your mindset will do. It will allow you to do it free of charge.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You can do that. Your mind, and look, it's the paradigm inside your mind. You have
Yeah.
one paradigm saying to yourself, it's okay, take it easy tonight, you're fine, have that pizza tonight, you'll be fine. But
Yeah.
it's overcoming a paradigm shift where you go, nope, I'm going training. Nope, I'm going to eat a good meal tonight. Nope,
Yeah.
this is where I want to be in 6 months' time. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
But to go back to your question about mindset,
Yeah.
I would actually go as far as saying what you're doing with your project at the moment, certainly
Yeah.
with your son, is that
Yeah.
you're instigating a mindset in them on a
Yes.
whole different range of different levels of
Yeah.
looking after yourself, being
Yeah.
responsible. So they've got that in their head.
Yeah.
In my opinion, children become who their parents currently are.
Yes. Anthony, can you repeat that again just for the viewers? Just stress how important that is because sometimes that we forget that we are as parents accountable too, and like in terms of the
Yeah.
way our children have come out as well, we have a part to play in it.
But
Sometimes that we forget that. Yeah, that's
yeah,
such an
so
important
yeah,
quote that you just said.
but yeah, so yeah, again, I'll repeat it and I'll try to add on something else to that.
Yeah, sure.
Is that your children become who your parents currently are.
Okay.
So if they see you out of shape, guess
Yeah.
what? They're going to be out of shape. If they see
Mm.
you watching Netflix 3 hours a day, they're going to be doing it.
Yeah, yeah,
If they see you with no responsibility and not being very good in society, guess what? That's what they're going to do.
yeah,
And what I do sometimes, I when I'm out and around, I look at parents, look at their children, and I can quite work out. You'll see. For example, yesterday I was in the supermarket here,
yeah,
and I turned the corner, and there was this young lad, and he was overweight. He was overweight. I just looked at him. I thought, oh, sorry that you're like that. But then out, out of the side aisle came his mother and father.
Okay.
Out of the side aisle come his mother and father. And I
It's
looked
like,
and I was like, okay, the puzzle fits now.
It's like when you said that, I just envisioned it. It's like a comedy scene, Anthony. Oh god. Oh.
And it's a shame. It's a
Yeah,
shame, really, because
yeah,
on a serious note,
you got me crying, Anthony.
on a serious note, if I see a child
Yeah,
overweight,
yeah,
isn't that some form of abuse to a child that you're allowing them to get like that?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
absolutely.
and yeah, yeah. In actual fact, it did play out like that yesterday. Exactly what it was like. He was overweight. I looked at him. I thought,
Yeah,
well, I wouldn't mind seeing your parents. And then, literally from the side aisle, they both came round, and I was like, yeah, now I know why.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
You know,
and this is the thing that I'm trying to advocate is to always keep on raising our standard as fathers
yeah,
because we are responsible for our lineage, and you're right, it gets passed down to the next generation, Anthony, because of the standard that we just set. So yeah, absolutely, I could resonate with that so badly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does start with us. It's like a ripple effect, you know. Yeah, go on. Anthony.
If I can give you another one as well,
Yeah, go on.
certainly if you know if someone's watching this who tunes
Yeah,
in who's got a daughter, I would say this as well.
yeah,
Become the kind of I've got to get this right. Become
yeah.
the father that you would want your daughter to marry.
Okay, become the father your daughter would want to marry. Okay, so it's like you're saying a standard of a man,
Yes.
where your daughter would marry. So it's like the father is the standard of the ideal man that I want to marry. Okay, get that,
Yes.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Both physically, both the way they move, how you deal with yourself, you know, everything, you know, would you want your daughter to marry anyone less than what your standards are as a father?
Yeah. I get that.
You
Yeah.
know, and
And
going to if you've got sons as well,
yeah,
you know, and obviously, you know, you've got sons
yeah,
as well. You know,
yeah,
you're bringing them up the correct way,
yeah,
and you know full well that whoever's going to marry your son in the future, you know,
yeah,
you know what they're getting. They're going to
yeah.
get a responsible, hardworking
Woman, yeah,
man who's going to look
yeah,
after them and take responsibility.
yeah. And in return, that they would want someone like that as well themselves, you know, to meet them. Yeah. So it's about raising that standard. Anthony, I want to talk to you about long-term gains versus short-term gains. What is your opinion? Like, because from my personal experience, I think there's a time and a place for both. You know, where sometimes short-term gains is good, but yeah, it just depends on the situation and context. I mean, what is the difference between the two? Where do you apply long-term gains versus short-term gains? What, like,
Okay.
how do we approach longevity? Is there a place for short-term gains, or no? Just cut it out completely and just think long-term. Is that the strategy
I'm
that
all,
we should be taking, or
yeah, my strategy always in life is I've got the long term game. I've got
yeah,
I've got an ideal situation where I want myself to be in, say, 6 months, a year, or 2 years, and then
mm,
I'll allow myself to put things in place for that to actually happen.
yeah,
Short term gains are good if you want
yeah,
to see some results quite fast that will enable you then to push on to those long term gains.
okay,
You know, don't get me wrong. There's nothing negative about that, but it's how you actually use it in the right context.
okay, I get that.
Because a lot of people, when they first start training and they see these short term gains,
Yeah,
yeah, they want to look good. They look good in a
yeah,
shirt and go during the summer. And then during the winter, when the hard work really needs to be put in, you don't see
yeah.
them.
That is it.
That that short term gains for me, long term is much more important because I can put things into place knowing that I'll get to that end result based on my physical and mental attitude that I've got now. So yeah.
Anthony, you know, in addition to what you've said, there's been times in my life where I don't feel like working out, or I'm cold, or something. There's these external elements, but I put that to the side and I still go. I always turn up. I think, no, I'm gonna get the workout done because part of who I am. I don't care how hectic my day is or what's going on the outside. Somehow I always find a way of exercising. That's what's become my identity. But I realized in some of these moments where I'm not feeling at my optimum, I've had the best workouts because I've just showed up. I've showed up and I went in a mood, and all of a sudden I found myself, you know, pushing through not just mental barriers, physical barriers, because I just tried, I just put the effort in. And it's easy to turn up on the days when you're feeling up for it. But what about I guess from this journey that I've learned to when it's about the long-term commitment, it's you turn up regardless how you feel. And what I've come to realize is the mind is such a manipulative thing, and I've learned to not trust it. And I've learned to, like, when it comes down to my emotions or my feelings, it might be like, it's a cold day outside, that you're better off just, just in your cozy environment. And like I thought, no, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to push myself. And then when you're there, you're out there in the elements, that you're in the trenches, and you're just grinding. And all of a sudden, that happens to be one of the best workouts I've actually had.
Yeah.
I found myself on many occasions doing this, Anthony. Like, I'll give you another one, leg day. My mind plays all sorts of tricks when it's leg day, Anthony. It's like, I'll just leave it till later. But when I actually get in there and I do it, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I actually loved it. And it's those battles that we need that makes the difference. And I guess in the long run, like what you've talked about, the short-term gains against the long-term gains, that's all part of the growth. That you're in it for the long run. Whether it's rain, hail, sleet, or snow, you're showing up. You're just there. You're just, and I've seen you do that in so many of your different videos, where you're out for a walk, or you're training in a park, or in the barn, or wherever it is. It's just, there's no excuse. You're just there, turning up, doing your thing, and just moving on. It's just, you keep going. That is an amazing condition, because you don't break down in life easily. And I guess what I've learned from you, Anthony, is when you're in it for the long game, it develops your character. This is where the character has been built, not through the short-term gains. It's actually the long-term gains that we want to go for. It's about thinking long-term. And in fact, I've also applied that psychology when I'm raising my children. And say, for example, I'm going through a conflict. Rather than me reacting in that moment, Anthony, I'm thinking I should hold back, because I want to nurture my relationship. So maybe I shouldn't react now. Maybe I need to hold back, calm myself, reassess things, because I want to foster a better relationship with my son, for example. It's that kind of mindset. I'm thinking long term. And I appreciate seeing that from you, Anthony, that the long term mindset. We're never in it for the short term. It's like our deen. Sorry, I'm just going off the tangent, where we're thinking not just in dunya, but we're thinking in the akhirah. We're long-term thinkers. This is what I got from all of your videos, and watching you just show up through the test of time. And this is what you have shown, a tough mental mindset, not just mentally, but also it shows physically as well. There's this thing that you said about fitness. It's not rocket science. It's just like I'm at the saying where, look, fitness can be as hard as you want or as easy as you want. It's entirely up to you. There's no because sometimes when we hear the word fitness, it can become daunting. It's like no pain, no gain. So you try to tell that to someone who's never exercised and that, and they're just thinking, whoa, this is hard work, I've got to get there. But it doesn't have to be that way. It can be self-paced. There can be, like what you've talked about, structure, having a plan in place, gradual steps, all of these things, these planning create longevity, So I totally get that, Anthony. There was something that I want to ask you about, it ties in with this longevity, because someone who's in it for the long run, Anthony, what is the mission? What is your mission? Because I've spoken to you earlier, and we've touched base about building a future for every mosque as a fitness advisor. Can you just explain a bit more about that? And then can you just touch base on that?
Yeah, so I'll touch on that, and then I'll try to touch on what keeps me going and different things that I've got going on.
Yeah.
So it's no secret. I did another podcast not long ago, and I mentioned that I went to the mosque. I was going to the mosque, and I was seeing a lot of unhealthy brothers. And that's not me being disrespectful to the brothers. It's me just being observant. And then especially on a Jummah prayer on a Friday, you'll go there, the mosque is full, And then after Juma prayer, they all come out and they're smoking there, and you look
Yeah.
around and there's quite a lot of brothers that are overweight.
Yeah.
And then the other side of that is that then the mosque is completely empty.
Okay.
And I'm thinking to myself, hold on, you could utilize this space quite quickly after Juma prayer if brothers and sisters wanted to do some form of exercise, maybe once a week or twice a week in a mosque under the supervision of a mosque fitness advisor who could actually teach them fitness, go through fitness programs, talk about diet, talk about a healthy lifestyle. And that's why I think that mosques in general need this protocol in place where that option is available to brothers and sisters within the community and within the mosque wherever they are. It's there for them, because a lot of brothers and a lot of sisters don't want to sign up for gymnasiums for different reasons. That's fine. You've got a space there. Utilize that space within a mosque, maybe once or twice a week, where brothers and sisters in a separate area can actually do some fitness, get some health advice, and form a community. And that is the initiative that I've got at the moment. It's going to take a lot of work, and I've got things in place at the moment where I can take that forward. So that's one project I've got on. On a personal level, I'm always seeking out what I can do next, and I won't go into it now. It take a long time, but in the past, I've broken a couple of records in the past when I was in the British Army. It'd take me a long time to sort of explain that. But
could you highlight just what they were? Just that you did X, or you did like what kind of records was this, bro?
Okay, Land's End. Land's End and John O'Groats.
No, I don't even know that. No. Is that an area or?
In England, you got point A, Land's End, point B, John O'Groats.
Oh, okay, yeah, got you, yeah, yes.
So when I was early 20s, there was a team of us, and we did a relay from Land's End to John O'Groats, and it was non-stop. It was like someone went and run for 1 hour, someone was in a truck having a rest, then you did your little stint. So continuous, and we broke the record for the shortest time getting from Land's End to John O'Groats.
Okay.
I broke quite a few records in the army with my physical fitness as well, but that was in the army. But I've got one now which I want to do, and I'm going to do it. I did it last year, unrecorded, and at the time the record was Al sits chin-ups.
Yeah. L pull-ups, yeah.
Okay, so the record was held by I do believe a Canadian guy early January. He did 33.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm pretty good at those. Yeah. So I did them. I actually got to 35. I didn't record it. I got to 35. But another guy now has actually broken that since in a few months ago now. He broke it, and he's got to 38.
Yes. Got you.
So what I'm doing now is I'm doing my Al sit chin-ups, but I'm doing it with a 10 kilogram weight. Yeah. And now I'm going to add a 10 kilogram weight around my waist, and I've got a 10 kilogram vest, which I'm going to put on, and I'm going to train the Al sits doing that.
I see where you're going with this.
And that's the other thing about body weight exercises, because once you start doing chin-ups with weights, pull-ups with weights, when you start doing that and then you take the weight off, you're flying like Superman when you're just doing your own body weight. You're like, wow, So, I want to try and break that record if I can. And the way I'm doing it at the moment is adding a lot of weight onto my own body weight to act as resistance to that form of exercise. So when I come to do like a test run, I can get pretty close to that 38. Yeah.
I think, you know what you said there is absolutely mind blowing. It's mind blowing what you've achieved at your age. It's mind blowing that you still want to do that. You just keep on pushing, especially at your age. That is rare. And you said it. I mean, like what you said, Rome weren't built in a day. It did take time, but this is the result of putting in the work, discipline, staying focused, staying just like you're in it for the long run. So, and through this podcast, there is no. I personally think that you've broken things down so well to, you know, taking small little actions, and then you was talking about a plan, an exercise program, and like everything is pretty much laid out. There is no excuses. Like what you said, that we've got the same amount of time. You know, there's just about doing it. How serious are you? You know,
Yeah.
and that's
Could I,
amazing. Do you know what I
if I,
find amazing? I think. Sorry to cut you. It's at your age you're still setting challenges, and we are a lot younger than you. What is our excuse? That I find mind blowing. You would think,
as,
yeah,
as you see on as you see on these t-shirts, and it's quite a well-known slogan,
yeah. I think
there's no excuse, no
very,
excuses.
yeah,
I don't honestly, I don't care who you, unless you know you're very very ill and you're
yeah.
very
That's
very
something
ill,
different. Yeah,
you
yeah,
know. But if you're capable of moving your body, then move your body.
yeah, yeah,
And I would also say this is that, again, it's a bit of an analogy,
yeah,
but if you're on your deathbed, okay,
yeah,
and a question was asked to you, and it was, did you do your best?
yeah,
Can you answer that truthfully?
yeah.
And the other
I
thing
get,
is yeah, the other thing is, if you're on your deathbed, and
yeah,
let's say the angels around your bed and say, well, it's time for you to come with us now,
yeah,
but I don't want to go. And you say, but I don't want to go. And they say to you, well, we gave you the opportunity, but you didn't use it correctly.
yeah,
We
yeah,
gave you everything that you could have achieved, but you didn't
yeah.
achieve it.
That
Yes.
Akhi, that is a powerful message for fathers as well, because the fathers can learn from this as well. It's right that there's not like as if we're short of resources and support. You know that saying that you just said, look, that we gave you life, we gave you everything, but you didn't use it. You reminded me of this warrior called Khalid bin Walid. Bro, he actually he was like one of the not one of the best fighters of all time in the battlefield, the most feared and revered. And there was after a while there was no more battles to fight. He had fought and he had won, and he was covered in scars everywhere, and he laid on his bed, and that's how he passed away. But the principle is he exhausted himself to the maximum, where there was nothing else left, and that
Yeah.
was he did not stop until he was on his dying deathbed. And like I totally resonate with what you've just said, that core message. As long as we're able, we're capable. That is it. We keep going, you know. And
And leave,
yeah, sorry.
and there you go. You just touched right there, which reminded me, another philosophy that I've got in my head is that leave nothing on the table.
Yes, yeah,
Whatever's available for you, and whatever
yeah,
you can actually use to your own self-development and
yeah.
becoming a better version of yourself, use it.
Music.
And use it to your best advantage. But leave nothing on the table, because if there's something still left on that table, guess what? You haven't used it,
Yeah,
and it's there
yeah.
for you.